What's up, people? Just doing a quick overview, just showing off two knives I just picked up. A little more dressy than I'm used to, but anyway, without further ado, this is the first one is my Andrew Demko Drop Point Hunter. This one's titanium frame, integral bolsters with, I can't remember the wood that this is, but it's gorgeous. I want to say it was some kind of burl wood, but I cannot remember, so I'm probably wrong. But it's just really gorgeous. It's got like green, as you can see, green, dark brown, light brown. I just think it's a really gorgeous wood. But the titanium bolsters kind of have an eggshell finish or orange peel. I don't know really what you want to call it, but it's nice. That's his standard pivot on all of his customs. Just has a Demko Knives logo on it, and the swirls on the back. Satin finish pocket clip. I believe it's a 3.5 inch. It's M390 steel blade. Standard thumb studs with the screw in it. Fit and finish on this knife are great. The tolerances are excellent. I mean, for a lockback, this is probably the smoothest lockback I've ever felt. I mean, the blade just falls as soon as you disengage the triad lock. And it is, I mean, it takes no effort to flick it open. For a lockback, that's pretty impressive. Just because of the tension you normally get on. His knives are usually running on, like, nylon washers usually. I'm not sure if this is or not. I can't really see, but more than likely it is nylon washers. Like I said, the action on it is just buttery smooth. Sorry for all the glare. I either seem to have glare or it just gets really dark. It's just whatever. But like I said, tolerances are great. The blade is pretty much dead center. I'd say it is dead center. But the tolerances on both sides, I mean, it's just extremely close. It just, fits in there just right. So, overall, I think it's a gorgeous knife. I really love the wood on the handle scales there. And it's a little bit of departure what I'm used to. I don't really go for the more classic or wood handles or anything like that. But I saw it when we went up to go up to the shop. I seen the scales. I was originally going to get my Carter scales on here, but I saw this and I was like, you know what, I gotta try it out, and I really do love it. It's definitely gorgeous material. So there's that one. It's 3.5 inch blade, I believe. For a size comparison, there is a ZT 801, and they are, the Demko's just a little bit longer than the ZT. Blade stock on the Demko is definitely thicker. I would say this is more like a gentleman's carry, but it's really not. I mean, it's got the triad lock. It's still going to be as solid as any of his other knives. You still get a nice thick blade stock on this knife, but I think it just it just looks a little bit more dressy than the other one I have. But and it feels good in hand. No problem with the ergonomics. There's no jimping or anything, but I don't really care about that. If I'm going to go try to beat the shit out of something, it's not going to be this one anyway. I'll use my other Demko, but I definitely will still use this, but for the jobs I'm going to do, I ain't worried about jimping. It feels really good in the hand. So, there's that one. And then my next one is the Demko and Tighe Tiebreaker. Clean it off a little bit. But, definitely a departure from what I normally like. I really have been looking at his knives for a while and always thought about picking one up. And, a lot of them were tip down carry. And I had heard before that the flipping action on his flippers wasn't that great. And then, that's secondary. I've never, handled one before I bought this one. So, and then I've seen a couple videos on the newer style with the bearings, and they seem to flip all right, and I tried it out, and they definitely do. But it's a gorgeous knife, titanium button lock. like fluted or sculpted titanium handle scales. I believe it's all, CNC, but I don't really care about that. It looks pretty badass. Polished pocket clip, nice custom pivot there. The action on this knife is pretty great. Flies open, no wrist flick needed. It is kind of bizarre to me after, having mostly frame locks or liner locks. It just makes no sound when the lock engages. It's, just so toned down. But it definitely flies right open. The action is great, really it is. So the blade on this is 4 inches of BG 42, I believe. The flats are satin, and the grind, it is compound grind with a mirror finish. But it's pretty sick looking. The little swedge up there is, as you can see, mirror polish too. There's some fingerprints on it though. Sorry for the noise in the background if you can hear it. If it shows up, it's just my animals. Cat and the dog chasing each other around. But this is a pretty thin knife. I'll do another comparison to the ZT801. I mean, it's not crazy thin. The blade steel is not like crazy thin or anything like that, but it is a thinner knife. It is super light, from the milling on the scales. But if you can see inside here, if I can get the zoom, if you can kind of see it over here down on my thumb, that it's actually milled out on the inside too. I mean, this knife, for being, pretty large folder, there's the 801. So, I mean, it's quite a bit, longer than the 801, but it's, I mean, if you put them flat, I mean, it's substantially thinner profile. But anyway, definitely I think a pretty gorgeous knife. The action it is running on is, I think, they're needle thrust bearings or some other type of cage bearings. It's his proprietary ones. But I definitely think it's a pretty sick ass knife. It looks pretty badass. I dig it. The ergonomics are comfortable with the double finger choils there. There's no jimping or anything like that. It's definitely going to be a gentleman's carry for me, just because obviously it has a mirror polish blade. I actually would have liked like a Damascus better. I think it would hold up better a little bit to more, I don't want to say everyday use, but mirror polish scratches up pretty easily. It's not like I'm going to go cut up cardboard boxes and shit with this, but it's mainly going to be like, hey, I'm opening a box or doing something with it. So I definitely will carry this. I've actually already carried it the day I got it. I carried it for the rest of the day and the next day. So just a nice, light, great looking knife. And the button lock I like. It's a little stiff up top when you first break the deployment or break the lock up, like right that first initial, and then if you just hold the button in, I mean, it rolls right down. It is really smooth. So, and I can do it one hand, but action's great on it. I just think it's a pretty cool ass knife. Definitely a departure from what I usually carry and own, but I think it's pretty cool. So 3 of them in the lineup. Like I said, this thing is incredibly smooth for being a lockback. I mean, I really can't get over how smooth it is. It takes no effort to flick it open. But this is still a pretty sizable knife too, but it's definitely shorter than the Tighe. And then so size comparison, both of them I think are pretty awesome knives. You won't see a ton of these. I just decided I want something a little more, fancy. Just basically 2 knives, to be honest. I'm on a list for a bunch of knives because I stopped basically buying off the secondary market, and almost all of them are bigger, overbuilt, more user-friendly knives. So I figured I'd pick up 2 nice ones. I mean, I had this one. I knew this was coming for a while, and I really won't even call this. I'd still have no problems using this. for just a general EDC knife. This one not so much, but I think they both look, they're different than my normal styles. So anyway, just figured I'd share that with you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, it's Christmas when I film this. Who knows when it'll go up? But Merry Christmas. I hope you all had a good, great Christmas. And that's it. I'm out.